Hello, I'm Toby from Reside, and today we're talking about tenant debt, and specifically what can be done to help alleviate that, especially now at the end of March with the evictions ban due to end relatively soon, and potentially a lot of tenants may find themselves in a position where landlords can commence eviction proceedings if they're in substantial rent arrears. Now, a group of property and housing organisations have come together to petition the Chancellor Rishi Sunak to make allowances for helping tenants in rent arrears in the upcoming budget next month. Some of these organisations aren't often referred to in the same breath, such as Arla Property Mark and Shelter, Citizens Advice and the National Landlord Association. However, they are all of one mind that the government needs to do more to help tenants who are in rent debt. They all acknowledge that the measures that have been put in place to date, the furlough scheme, the self-employment support scheme, these have done a relatively good job of supporting a lot of people and maintaining lower rent arrears where possible. However, across the country, more than 500,000 people are in substantial rent arrears, and there's a real possibility that many of them could be forced out of their homes or even made homeless fairly soon unless measures are taken by the government. Now, these organisations have issued a joint statement in which they make two suggestions of things that they would like to see included in next month's budget. I've got them here, I'll quickly run through them. They ask for a targeted financial package to help renters pay off arrears built since lockdown measures started in March 2020. This will help to sustain existing tenancies and keep renters in their homes, whilst also ensuring rental debt does not prevent them from finding homes in the future, because we all know any tenant wanting to move home needs a reference from their landlord. Secondly, a welfare system that provides renters with the security of knowing that they can afford their homes. The pandemic has shown how vital this is to providing security at a time of crisis. The government increased universal credit and housing benefit because it recognised that the system was not doing enough to support people in the first place. Yet it has chosen to freeze housing benefit rates again from April and is considering cutting universal credit at the same time. It cannot be right, it says here, that these measures should be pulled away from renters during continued economic uncertainty. Like I say, this statement has come from Property Mark, the Landlords Association, The Big Issue, Citizens Advice, Crisis, the Nationwide Building Society, Shelter, to name that. There's more. There's a very strong feeling amongst all of these bodies coming together that the government needs to do more to protect renters and specifically those in arrears. Now, we at Reside, we're in a fortunate position. We've worked very hard with our tenants over the last 9-10 months or so to maintain a very low level of rent arrears. But in April, with the furlough scheme potentially coming to a close, there are going to be fresh challenges, and certainly additional support from the government would be very welcome to provide those tenants with reassurance that they can continue to pay their rent no matter what happens.